For Steve, the word waiting meant the job he had to endure until he had enough savings to buy a car.
Sir, anything to drink while you wait?
I'm fine. She should be here in a minute now.
Una po. Ah, first date po.
Yes.
If you need
I'll
anything,
let you know. Thank you.
sige po.
For the man referred to as Eric, waiting meant but for a few more seconds until April arrived.
Eric? April?
No. I expected someone prettier. I have to go.
Wait, what?
Hey, April. Take a seat. Take a seat. I'm just joking. Take a seat.
Walang iya ka.
How are you? Hoy, hanggang dito lang ang gentleman skills ko. Huwag kang mag-expect parang mas marami pa. First blind date mo din, April?
Yes, grabe, medyo naiilang nga ako.
One answer at a time, please.
Wala ka talagang modo, no?
Huwag kang may lang. Baka may lang din ako.
Ilang-ilang na yun.
Kunwari, hindi ko narinig yun, ha?
Sira.
Yan. Mas maganda pag relaxed. Chill.
Tagasan ka, Eric?
Ito po yung menu. I can come back when you're ready to order.
Para salamat, tinatanong na niya kung saan ako nakatira at stalker to. Para buti na lang dumating ka.
Kapal mo talaga.
Bagay po kayo.
Kasabot ka pala, hayop ka.
Eric, stop it.
Balik na lang po ako when you're ready to order.
Para may papakita ako sa'yo.
Sige po.
April, watch this.
Okay.
Ano pangalan mo?
Steve po.
Steve, nakita mo na ba tong dalagang... Assuming dalaga ka.
Ay, hindi.
Nakita mo na ba tong dalagang nasa harap ko?
Hindi po.
Hindi mo din siya kilala, tama?
Hindi po.
Wala kang alam sa kanya, tama?
Wala po.
April, first time natin magkita ngayon, tama? Ngayon pa lang tayo magkakakilala, tama?
Yes.
First time mo dito sa restaurant na to?
Yes.
Sana po magustuhan nyo dito.
I'm sure I will.
We will, Steve. Be confident that we will enjoy it in this restaurant. Are you a confident man, Steve?
When I need to be po.
All the time, Steve. You need to be confident all the time. We trust you, Steve. April, do we trust Steve?
I trust you, Steve.
Good. Ganito, Steve. You stay there as we look at the menu. Now, when we make our order, we're not gonna make it out loud, okay? We just think of the items and then tell them to Steve telepathically. So each item, what we do is we just think of the item's name 7 times and then say Steve after we think of the name 7 times. So if the order is cheeseburger and fries, you just think of the word cheeseburger 7 times. Steve and fries. Steve. Now, Steve, every time you hear your name, you just write down the first item from the menu that pops in your head. List them all down. Don't tell us anything. Don't say anything to us. Go back there. Paluto mo na. And we will know kung nag-match sa mga in-order namin sa mga sinulat mo pag nakahapag na sila.
Baka po mali.
Magugulat ka, Steve. Tama ang mga isusulat mo. We trust you.
Yes, Kuya Steve. We trust you.
Well, I promise you, Steve, I will make sure that I will get word to your management that you have been very helpful, and for your cooperation, I will give you a tip worth 100% of our total bill. Pabayaan mo, si April ang magbabayad ng bill tsaka ng tip.
Uuwi na ako.
Okay, fine. Ako na lahat this time. Sumusobra ka na, ha? Steve?
Sige na, Kuya Steve.
Kayo pong bahala. Sige po.
April? Please look at your menu and order telepathically. Start with a drink and proceed with everything else.
Steve. 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 Done.
Nakuha mo, Steve?
I hope so po.
Ready for my orders, starting with the drink?
Sige po.
Steve? Steve, done.
Sige po, kuya.
See you in a bit, Steve.
Okay po.
You did well. Sport ka, game ka, I can already tell. This is gonna be a fun dinner.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're not so bad yourself. Usually, when people meet for the first time, puro na lang tansyahan nangyayari.
Chat is usually a waste of time and gives the other person wrong signals. I think it's better if you focus on introducing yourself rather than finding out who the other person is. Well, usually.
Right. I agree.
So, April,
So, Eric,
blind date.
blind date. This is so not me. But, it's fun.
It's fun to live outside of your world every once in a while.
Tama.
Hey, sorry to bring it up, but I heard that you just got out of a serious relationship.
Yes. I don't mind that you bring it up. Isa nga yun sa mga lagi kong sinasabi sa kanila, if they want to set me up on a blind date, it has to be with someone who knows that I just got out of a serious relationship. Well, at least I have a better chance na magiging delicate yung handling.
Sa puso mo, Jesus, that's cheesy, but I'll let it slide.
Well, I don't know how else to put it.
I was joking. Being hurt is a big thing. I've been hurt before.
Yeah?
Lahat naman eh. Well, the thing about pain, it grounds us. Lets us know where we stand. Which can work for or against us.
I think I see your point.
Di ba parang yung cliche na you pinch yourself to wake yourself up? Pain brings us back to reality.
Yeah. Waking us up, keeping us grounded to reality. That's how it works for us. And it's obvious how it works against us. Yeah, it effing hurts.
It effing hurts, tama. Besides the obvious pain of pain, it can also work against us because when it wakes us up, it's usually difficult for us to fall back to sleep to dream again. So we're stuck in this reality of pain and mortality and obligations, conflicting nations and tribes and religions. I don't want to get into all that, but you know what I mean.
How did we get so deep so fast?
We got rocks in our pockets. We have to hover. Hovering. It's the perfect balance, is when we are just hovering.
hovering.
We are grounded by reality, by pain, by 6 o'clock news, internet trolls, bills and traffic, etc.
Each other.
And by love, we float like a balloon out to the skies until it pops. Exactly.
And since it's been floating to whichever direction the wind is blowing it to, when it pops and drops, it doesn't know where it is. Usually, it ends up far from where it feels it belongs.
Tama.
Kaya, hovering.
It's best when we are a 3-day-old balloon, not tied to anything, not floating away into God knows where, and not lying lifeless on the ground we call reality. Just hovering. That's pain leaving you. Those tears.
You think so?
Why not?
I'm sorry.
I know, you're unbelievable, crying on our first date before the food even arrived.
Sorry na nga.
Don't let it happen again.
I won't.
Well, Not never, just not too often.
Deal. So, tell me about yourself.
No, wag muna. We're not gonna be tourists running around from one landmark to the other, expediting the process of getting to know something.
Sabagay.
Let's let it happen naturally. I'm gonna show you something cool instead.
Sige nga. Magic?
Magic. Do you like magic?
Basta magaling.
Okay. Well, pick a card, any card from the deck.
Queen.
Of,
Hearts.
sure enough,
Hmm?
because it's always on top. Always on top. Let me tell you something about the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts always manages to be on top, no matter what happens to it. Always manages to get back on top. Even if you try to put it down. You say Queen, you know what Queen of Hearts? You belong down there with the rest of them. And she says, no, I don't. That's, that's why she's the Queen of Hearts.
That's why. Galing.
Thank you.
You do this professionally?
You could say that.
So, yung kay Kuya Steve, magic din yun?
You could say that.
Paano yun? Lilitaw lang yung mga order natin? Kasabot mo si Kuya Steve, no? Ano tawag doon?
Stooge? Nah, that would be lame if he was. Actually, the routine was more for Steve than for you.
Paano?
If the routine works, then you and Steve would be amazed. But if it doesn't, we could still pretend that it worked and Steve would walk away and go home later and feel good about himself. Feel fantastic, and it would give him a brief escape from his clockwork serving job, and if all else fails, yeah, it would make Steve happy.
Teach me magic.
Forget about it. I think this is usually the time when we start telling each other about.
Where's the fun in usually?
Look at you. You want to know magic?
Absolutely.
Di kita pwedeng turuan ng mga routine.
Boo.
Not magic routines, but I can teach you magic. I'm not supposed to, but since you have been such a fine companion throughout this evening,
Thank you.
so you want to know magic.
Please.
Well, to start with, you already know magic. You just don't know how to perform them. You're smart and sharp, so you already know.
I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't think I do.
Magic is a combination of precision of movements and angles, quickness of the mind, calculations of possibilities of reactions, and most importantly, knowing the heart of man.
Sige, I want to know all that.
All that is magic. When I was younger, tuwing sumasakay ako ng
In the
jeep,
succeeding moments, Eric thoroughly explained to April the techniques of a magic routine and how they could also be applied as techniques to having better control over life. It was obvious, though not to each other, that they were both nervous of the whole nature of this blind date. Eric hid his nervousness behind a facade of confidence and humor, as a magician usually would. April hid her nervousness simply behind her adorable smile, as she always had. Despite the parts of themselves they showed each other, and the parts of themselves they hid, both were having so much fun. Enough fun to allow them to disregard the flaws and personality inconsistencies they saw in each other. Perhaps enough fun to allow April to disregard the upcoming unpleasant revelation that Eric would later make.
Matter of fact, the elements of magic you are talking about are the elements of the right approach to life.
first off, you have to see it as a reward. You have to be able to feel proud of yourself as you get better at it. That's your incentive. So the more you get better, the better and better you become at it, the better and better you become as a person, as you.
That's
It's a lot to take in.
beautiful.
It is, but not all the time. Once you start getting used to doing these things properly, you start seeing the ugliness in things. You start seeing when people are insecure, or the thing that I hate the most is when they're being typical, or maybe not. Maybe the thing that I hate the most is when I see people being typical and in denial. But I try not to complain. I try not to hate it. I mean, it's I can't change it. It's not my job. It's someone else's job. My job is to make people feel fantastic, make people feel magical, make people feel magical about things that are usually common to them, and make them feel something that is similar to love.
Love.
Look at you, woman. I must have said 5 million words and only that word stands out. Typical.
Shh.
Well, I can't blame you. I like that word too. Love.
How are you at these things you're telling me about?
I could be better. I'm good, but I could be better.
Are you good enough to teach me?
You can't afford my fee.
Hoy, may ipon ako.
Biro lang. We'll see. Maybe someday I'll teach you a thing or two here and there. I mean, I'm still a student at the whole thing, but yeah, who knows? Maybe I could teach you a thing or two. Who knows?
Di ba ang magic mostly deceptive?
You could say that. It's welcome deception. I think deception is bad when it's used to exploit. I mean, so yeah, maybe I'm crossing the line sometimes when I try to show them something to amaze them, but then I charge them money. So maybe I'm kind of crossing the line and exploiting them. I mean, I'm not perfect. I try to be better.
Understandable.
Minsan, understandable. Minsan, baka hindi kasing understandable.
Like,
Like if I told you na may close friend ako na he always wanted to know this routine with cards.
a card trick.
I try to avoid calling them tricks, but yeah, tricks. I was always so firm in not teaching him that trick, but one night he cancels our appointment for shots at a bar, and he says that he was set up for a blind date with this woman. So I was curious, and I asked him what he knew about this woman, and he said that all he knew about her is that she had just gotten out of a serious relationship. So I figured that maybe I can teach him the trick, and in return, I could show up on this date as him. And here I am. I expected that tear, April.
Magaling ka eh.
For what it's worth, I wanted to be on this date because I thought that it would be fun, and on top of that, I thought that I could teach you a thing or two about wisdom of life and magic and their parallels. And my friend is kind of half a tool, but is way better looking. And now I like you.
Did you see that being the biggest possible outcome?
If you'd like to see my friend, by all means, I would give you his number, But if you'd like to see me again after tonight, I would. It would make me happy. Oh, and I am sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry I deceived you.
I don't know what you want me to say.
It's not about what I want you to say. I just hope we can still have fun. I hope you could forgive me.
For what it's worth, I don't think it's gonna be that
Difficult
difficult.
to get over the whole deception thing?
Yes. So I would be more inclined to forgive you considering you
Confessed
confessed.
before it was too late?
Asshole.
Young lady.
But I'm still thinking. I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Pig, calculated magician man, anong naisip mo magiging outcome ng gaming to?
Well, it depends.
Depends on what.
Depends on what Steve will bring to our table.
Sorry for the wait. Eto na po.
For April, the word waiting meant waiting for a certain feeling she had waited for what seemed like her whole life thus far. Until this very particular moment, as the portions of food were being placed on the table between her and the mysterious yet interesting man across from her. April knew that that certain feeling is here. And the need for waiting just came to an end.